The Serenity Bay Club looked exactly the way it had lived in my memory. 3 miles of untouched private shoreline, clusters of Mediterranean-inspired villas, and so much generational wealth it practically seeped from the sand. It was the same place my family had worshipped every summer, until I chose not to follow the path they'd laid out. "Ma'am, employees enter through the back," the valet said, eyeing my Tesla Model 3 as if it were a delivery van instead of a luxury car. It clearly wasn't the Rolls or Bentley he expected. "Actually," I started, but a too familiar voice sliced through the air. "Claire? Seriously? Using the main entrance?" Amanda's laugh carried across the circular driveway like a champagne cork popping. "How adorable!" She drifted down the marble steps, sun hat perfectly tilted, designer sundress rippling in the ocean breeze. A martini glimmered in her hand. Never mind that it wasn't even noon. Behind her, our mother sat on the terrace, pretending she hadn't seen me pull in. "The staff lane is around the side," Amanda added lazily, gesturing with her glass. "Though I'm honestly shocked you bothered to show up. Didn't you trade all this for some kind of— what did you call it?" "Investment banking," I replied, stepping out of the car. "At that little boutique firm, remember?" Her lips curled. "How exhausting it must be living a normal life." The valet shifted his weight awkwardly, still clutching my keys. Through the club's giant windows, I saw members gathering like spectators at a tennis match. The outcast daughter returning was apparently today's entertainment. "Honestly, Claire," Mother finally glided down to us, pecking the air near my cheek. "A phone call would have been polite. We do have visitor guidelines." I looked at my watch. 11:58 a.m. Perfect. "I won't be needing a visitor pass," I said lightly. At that moment a golf cart zipped up the driveway, brakes screeching. Charles Wilson, the club's head of security, leapt off, face flushed and a thick folder clutched to his chest. "Ms. Matthews," he called, nearly tripping. "Apologies for the delay. Your ownership documents are ready for final signature." Amanda froze mid-sip. Mother's smile twitched like a glitching hologram. "Ownership documents?" Mother echoed. "What is he talking about?" I opened my calendar on my phone. "Right on schedule, Charles. Shall we go over the new security procedures? I believe the transfer becomes official in—" I checked the time again. 1 minute. "Transfer?" Mother's voice cracked in that familiar high pitch. "Transfer of what exactly?" Charles handed me the folder, still breathing hard. "The sale of the Serenity Bay Club, ma'am. The board approved everything last night." "Perfect." I flipped through the papers. "And the staff-wide announcement?" "Set to go out at noon sharp." Inside the club, employees were already checking their phones as the alert came through. Some looked stunned. Others looked like Christmas had come early. A few started walking toward the entrance. "This is absurd," Amanda sputtered. "Dad would never let the club be sold. Our family founded this place." "Dad," I said, still scanning documents, "hasn't been on the board in years. Not since, well, you know." Mother's hand went straight to her throat. "How could you possibly know about that?" "Same way I knew the club was drowning in debt. Same way I knew the founding families were quietly selling off their shares to pay off personal losses." Amanda's face drained of color. "Your firm, Meridian Capital Partners." I nodded. "We buy distressed luxury assets, especially those owned by people who assume their wealth protects them from basic economics." Mother sank onto a bench as though her spine had finally given up. "I don't understand." "It's simple," I said, signing the last page with a smooth flourish. "The club needed liquidity. The members needed a way out. And I needed." I smiled. "Well," I said calmly, "let's just call it closure." "Ms. Matthews," Charles interjected, stepping forward. "The staff is gathered in the ballroom, just as you requested." "Perfect." I handed the folder back to him. "Please let them know their jobs are safe. And that raises are being implemented immediately. Starting with the service workers, certain members seem to think they can mistreat." Amanda's expression shifted from shock to rage. "You can't just come waltzing in here and rewrite the rules." "Actually," I pulled out another document. "I can. As of today, I hold 82% ownership of Serenity Bay Club, including your family's membership shares." "Our shares?" Mother whispered, her voice uneven. "The ones your father used to secure that loan?" I nodded. The same loan he defaulted on 3 months ago. Meridian purchased the debt last week, along with the rights to every membership tied to it. The valet, who'd been listening with growing interest, stepped forward. Does that mean I'm finally getting that raise they keep promising? I smiled at him. Yes, plus full health coverage and paid time off. I hear your daughter just started college. His face lit up. She did. Sarah got into UCLA. Wonderful, I said. Have HR connect with me. We offer tuition support for employees' families. The next hour unfolded in a whirlwind. Staff moved in and out of the ballroom as I walked them through the new policies. Mandatory respect across all levels, real benefits, accountability for mistreatment, and the end of the club's unwritten social caste system. Amanda and Mother stayed rooted on the terrace, watching silently as the place they ruled by inheritance began reshaping itself around them. Members started congregating too, whispering anxiously as they realized everything was changing. This is the members' only dining hall, Amanda snapped as I walked through, typing notes into my tablet. You can't just open it. Actually, I replied, I can. Starting today, staff have access to all dining spaces during their breaks. No more separate lounges to keep up appearances. But tradition, Mother began, is precisely what's held this place back, I said, cutting her off, along with the belief that a last name determines someone's worth. My phone buzzed with an alert. Good. The new membership committee is ready to begin evaluations. Evaluations. A sharp, offended voice cut through the room. Beatrice Wellington elbowed her way forward, outrage written across her face. What evaluations? I brought up a file on my tablet. All memberships are being reassessed under updated standards, such as treatment of employees, community involvement, and actual participation rather than holding a membership purely for prestige. This is unbelievable. Beatrice sputtered. I've been part of this club for 30 years. Yes, I said pleasantly. And in that time you filed 27 complaints against staff for so-called improper behavior. Most were for things like making eye contact. Your review should be enlightening. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Through the windows, more golf carts were rolling in, members rushing back as word spread. Charles, I called. Make sure everyone receives the new membership policies, especially the section on automatic suspension for discriminatory conduct. Mother finally managed to speak again. Claire, sweetheart, surely we can talk about this privately. If Dad would like to call my office, I replied smoothly. He should review his loan terms first, particularly the personal guarantee and asset forfeiture clauses. Amanda's complexion drained. The loans, you bought all of them? Every last one, I said. It's incredible what people will sell when they think they're unloading debt on some anonymous firm. I smiled. Instead of the daughter they dismissed. My tablet chimed. A video call. I answered and turned the screen so everyone could see it. On it appeared an elegant woman in her 60s, poised and confident. Miss Rothschild, I greeted with a nod. How's everything at the London branch? Mother's legs nearly gave out beneath her. Rothschild, as in our firm's lead investment partner, I clarified. Turns out old generational wealth and modern strategy blend beautifully when there's mutual respect. Claire dear, Miss Rothschild said warmly from the screen, I assume the transfer wrapped up without complications? Flawlessly, I replied, though a few former members are struggling to adjust. She chuckled softly. Reminds me of Monaco last month. Funny how quickly people remember their manners once they learn that privilege isn't a birthright. Amanda sucked in a breath. The Monaco Royal Club. Another ultra-exclusive enclave that had abruptly shifted ownership. That was you, she whispered stunned. One of several projects, I confirmed. Meridian's had a productive year. Being underestimated is an excellent business advantage. My phone buzzed again with a new message. The staff briefing went smoothly, I added. They're thrilled about the updated benefits, especially the daycare facility we're converting from the former members' only spa. Daycare. Mother croaked. In that spa? The most expensive one on the property. Yes, I said. Don't worry, we're building a new spa. One everyone can use, not just the hand-picked elite. Beatrice Wellington edged forward again. clutching her handbag like it might protect her from the future. "This all sounds very progressive," she said in a tone that suggested the word was offensive. "But you must realize the importance of maintaining standards." "Oh, I understand standards perfectly," I said. "Just not the kind built on arrogance. I'm talking about professional standards, ethical standards, standards of human decency." I pulled up her file. "For example, hurling a drink at a server because she brought you the wrong olive variety? That alone violates at least 3 of our new rules." Uncomfortable shifting moved through the crowd. More than a few were guilty of similar behavior. "Let me make something clear," I said, addressing everyone. "Serenity Bay will remain exclusive, but based on integrity, not income. How you treat employees will outweigh how much you paid for your villa. And those unwilling to evolve," I gestured toward the windows. "There's a perfectly good public beach just down the shore." Mother stepped forward, ringing her pearls as if they'd provide answers. "But where will we go? This club is all we have." "And that," I answered softly, "is exactly the issue. You've mistaken entitlement for achievement, status for value." I turned back to the members. "If you're willing to abide by the new standards, please schedule an interview with the membership committee. If not, your membership expires at midnight." Amanda's composure finally cracked. But the season is just beginning. The gala, the tournament, they're still happening," I assured her. "With updates. The gala will actually benefit local charities instead of serving as a backdrop for social climbing photos. The tennis tournament will welcome staff and their families. And the beach," I added with a genuine smile, "will finally be accessible to the people who care for it." My tablet pinged again, transition updates, new signage, revised member packets. Everything unfolding exactly as planned. "Oh, and Amanda?" I called out as I headed toward my office with the panoramic ocean view. "About that service entrance comment earlier? You should review the new policies. Starting tomorrow, all members park their own vehicles. The valets have more meaningful work than babysitting fragile egos." The collective gasp behind me blended with the sound of waves rolling in. Outside, employees were already removing the members-only plaques from the beach paths. Sometimes revenge isn't about striking back. Sometimes it's about resetting the balance, even if it requires buying an entire seaside club to do it.